So my name is Brinan Weeks. I'm from Los Angeles. But is there any East Coasters here? East Coasters. Woo! Okay, so I'm from Albany, New York, right? Everything looks like Vermont, you know. Yeah. I'm from the hill people area, right? I'm from farm country, salt of the earth people, and by salt, I mean the diet, you know. The population's diet is basically ham and cheese sandwiches, all right? They look like ham and cheese sandwiches, all right? That's what everybody looks like, you know, cashiers at Waffle House in my hometown, all right? So this is nice. I'm glad I can be out here with some culture, okay? Thought this town was kind of corny, though. You guys seen that Melanin art gallery up the street? You guys seen that Melanin up here on State Street? There's this Melanin gallery. All they have in there is pictures of African animals, okay? I was like, okay, this is what we got going on here. I've seen 3 black people and they're frightened, okay? I've seen that. I saw this woman looking at us like this, and I was like, that's racistly. You know, like this is racist. It was fine. I'm half black and half white with a little bit of Native American tears sprinkled in. Right? Becomes a problem when I go to restaurants and they're like, did you make reservations? I'm like, no, you did, you pale-faced motherfucker! And they're like, right this way, sir. Welcome to Cafe Gratitude. We've done the reading. Yeah, guys, I'm from upstate New York. The first time I was called the N-word was in 3rd grade. It was by the water fountain where most civil rights activities take place. And it was by this white kid named Jordan Schiffer coming up behind me like a little racist Dennis the Menace. And he's like, my daddy says you need to go back there. And he's pointing to this map of Africa behind the water fountain, right? He's like, my daddy says you need to go back there, nigger. And that other one, niggeria. And I'm like, wait, first of all, it's Nigeria, right? And second of all, niggeria sounds like a weird racist vacation destination. Or like Hennessy with fruit in it. Or like a weird Italian fusion restaurant. Like it's a niggeria, and you're like, oh shit! Put Alfredo sauce in the mac and cheese? Shit is delicious. So there are 3 things that day. 1, geography and racism are not mutually exclusive. Right? 2, pronunciation is important. Right? And 3, how to fight because I whooped that cracker's ass. Okay? That's good. Yeah, guys. So we're in a mental health crisis. That's what they say on the news, at least. A mental health crisis, right? There's a lot of talk about defunding the police, and I'd like to know where that money goes. And I think the government should create a new branch of the military just dedicated to therapists. Okay. Right? But can you imagine that emergency response team? Just a bunch of nerds and jumping out of a helicopter like, go, go, go! How can I support you? You know? We have Birkenstocks on the ground. Right. Boot camp is like, drop down and give me 30. Positive affirmations. I am smart, I am beautiful, I am powerful. You ladies are in therapy, aren't you? Speaking your truth. Yeah. Getting in touch with your inner child. Unpacking my generational trauma. It's great. It's great. So my mom asked me to do that genealogy.com shit, that 1, 2, 3 and me, the 24 chromosomes. Hopefully it's not 25, you know what I'm talking about, kind of shit. And results came back. Turns out I am 60% British, right? 60% British, and then a bunch of different African countries, because my mama, okay. Right? And found out that I have 1% Native American, right? My mother's been growing up telling me stories about my grandparents growing up on a reservation, you know? We have Creek blood in our body. And I was like, Mom, our ancestors are cosplayers, all right? That's how this works. There's a bunch of white people living on the reservation being dirty. Okay. My dad was in blaxploitation movies in the 70s. My dad was an actor. He was in films such as Shaft, Truck Turner, and Black Belt Jones, which is like a black kung fu movie, right? So growing up was hard because if I didn't do my homework, he'd be like, "Now listen here, Draft Turkey," and then whoop my ass to a Curtis Mayfield soundtrack. You guys go to any of the protests? Season 1, George Floyd protests. Anyone? Season 1. Anybody go to those? You gonna get that? Was it important? Okay. If it was, I'd be like, go get it. Get the fuck out of here. But no, it's fine. No, so I went to the protest. I went to the protest in Hollywood and Highland. It felt more like Coachella. All right. Yeah, they were handing out cans of CBD soda. I'm like, this is nice, right? This is nice. I didn't imagine the revolution being so comfortable. And then we got to Santa Monica Boulevard, and there was a black homeless man, pants around his ankles, jerking off towards the crowd. And then all the white people had to make a choice, right? Because he started lurching forward, and then everybody had to part for him like he was some dick-wielding Moses. And then when we were on our knees, it was just him in the back, and we just all would look over our shoulder, just make sure he wasn't lurching forward. Okay, every Black Life Matters is what I'm saying, even if it's inconvenient. Okay. So I'm married. Thank you. I'm married. It's nice. And me and my wife have a special relationship. It involves ropes, handcuffs, and our safe word. Yeah. We're on that whole BDSM kind of thing. Except I'm not that good at it. All right. And I showed up to her house one time, and she opened up the door, and she was dressed in all this sexy lingerie. And she was like, "Tie me up and do anything that you want." So I did, and played video games for about 3 hours. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna leave. Have a good evening. Sorry, man. Let's get up me after the show.
Another round of applause for Little